If you're still using that spice or herb coffee grinder you got from the online marketplace, then you know how inconsistent it can be at grinding coffee. With so many new grinders being released every year, I know it's not a simple task to choose a home coffee grinder. Hi guys, I'm Imran from Lamarsa, and for today, I'll be guiding you on how to choose your home coffee grinder. I'll be covering basic features, important aspects of a coffee grinder so that you can make perfect coffee at home. This is gonna be a simple video without diving too deep into the science, so it's perfect for beginners to know how to choose their coffee grinder. Imagine if you cut an apple in the morning and only eating it at night. The sliced apple will oxidize and the apple won't taste as fresh and good. Similarly, if you pre-ground coffee too early, it will go stale and won't taste as good and fresh. And if you use a cheap off-the-shelf grinder, it will produce inconsistent grinds, resulting in bad cup of coffee. That's why it's important to invest in a really good coffee grinder to ensure your coffee tastes good and fresh. Let's begin with the brewing method. We have 3 different grinders with 3 different purposes. One for espresso, one for filter, and an all-purpose grinder. An espresso grinder focuses on grinding your coffee on the finer side. This is crucial when pulling shots on an espresso machine. Usually, espresso grinders will produce a more balanced, sweet, and high body cup. The Eureka Mignon Manuale is a really good entry-level espresso grinder. It features a 300-gram hopper, an on-off button, and a push-to-start grinding button to use for your portafilter. A filter grinder is built for hand brew method. It typically grinds coarser than espresso to allow water to pass through with as little restriction as possible. Typically, a filter grinder will produce a high clarity cup and vibrant flavors. The Fellow Oat Gen 2 is an upgrade from the award-winning Fellow Oat Gen 1. It features anti-static technology by Fellow, 31 grind settings, quiet grinding, and many more. An all-purpose grinder can grind espresso, filter, and many more. It works well if you like to adjust your grind adjustment to suit different brew methods on a daily basis. However, as the saying goes, jacks of all trades, master of none, means there are some compromises to an all-purpose grinder. Most home baristas these days prefer a single dosing grinder. This allows them to empty their hopper, weighing their beans only when they need them, and allow them to store their beans in an airtight container so that it stays fresher for longer. Single dose grinders also gives you room to experiment on different type of beans, as the grinder will produce little to no retention. On-demand grinders are great if you're serving multiple cups at once, as the hopper will allow you to store beans. It's easy to just grind the beans on demand as needed. The main drawback is that you have to keep an eye on the hopper so that the beans doesn't lose freshness due to being in the hopper too long, as the hopper is not airtight. A time-based grinder will grind for a certain amount that you set. For example, if you want 18 grams of grounded coffee, you need to set the time so that it matches the desired weight. Dialing in with a time-based grinder involves a lot of trial and error, time-consuming, and a lot of wastage of beans. But time-based grinders are known to be reliable, robust, and fairly reasonable price. Eureka Libra is a grind-by-weight grinder, which grinds coffee based on the weight that you set. Dial in 20 grams and 20 grams of coffee will come out. This is achieved by a built-in scale installed in the grinder. It saves up a lot of dialing in time. It's pretty accurate, but it tends to be on the pricier side. Burrs are made out of 2 revolving abrasive surfaces grinding beans between each other. The 2 types of burrs are conical and flat. Just like the name, conical burrs are shaped like cone and a flat burr is flat. Conical burr also produce blended and complex flavors, giving you a higher body and higher sweetness. Flat burrs can replicate similar flavors but with high clarity. Most burrs are made of hardened steel or iron cast material, and most brands have their own version of burr coating which differentiates from one another. The most common coating will be either titanium or red spade. This is important to know as each coating enables them to grind consistently, last longer, and reduce overheating. So after all that, which grinder should you choose? It all depends on your usage. As a beginner, maybe you can try an on-demand, time-based grinder, as it's simple to use, straightforward, without breaking the bank. I can recommend the Eureka Mignon Manuale or the fellow Opus, as it's an entry-level grinder and budget-friendly. If you are a home coffee enthusiast who values accuracy and experimenting, you can never go wrong with either a single dosing grinder or a grind-by-weight grinder. I can highly recommend the Lagom P64 as a single dosing grinder or the Eureka Mignon Libra as a grind-by-weight grinder. Lastly, if you enjoy a good cup of filter coffee, the Fellow Oat Gen 2 and the Malconic X54 are the best options for you to choose from. The X54 is a proven all-purpose grinder, while the Fellow Oat Gen 2 is undisputedly one of the best filter grinders out there. Whether you are a seasoned coffee enthusiast or a beginner, understanding these nuances between these grinders is important for the ultimate home grinding experience. For those who are interested in purchasing the grinders I've mentioned, I've included a link in the description below. You can even visit our showroom for a more hands-on experience. For any further inquiries, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.